The version of you that exists right now was not chosen by you. It was installed, piece by piece, year by year, by people who had no idea what they were doing to you. Your parents, your teachers, the environment you grew up inside. None of them sat down and said, "This is the identity we are programming into this child." They did not have to. The subconscious does not require intention. It only requires repetition. And so by the time you were old enough to question who you were, the answer was already written, not by you. For you, there is only one question that matters now. Is that the code you want to keep running? You have been here before. You set the alarm. You made the plan. You told yourself this time is different, and then something pulled you back. Not weakness, not laziness, something deeper, something that felt almost automatic, like there was a ceiling you kept hitting, a version of yourself you could not seem to get past. You blamed discipline or focus or the circumstances around you, but the circumstances changed and the ceiling stayed. Different job, same patterns. Different city, same identity. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are running software that was written for a version of you that no longer exists. Joseph Murphy spent his life studying this exact mechanism. He called it the most important discovery a human being can make about himself, and almost no one acts on it. Here is what Murphy discovered, and it is simpler than most men expect. The subconscious mind does not think, it does not reason, it does not judge, it executes whatever belief has been planted in it, through repetition, through emotion, through the experiences that left the deepest marks. It treats as truth, and it organizes your entire life around defending that truth. Murphy used the image of a gardener and soil. The conscious mind is the gardener. The subconscious is the soil. The soil does not choose what grows. It grows whatever seed is planted in it, weed or flower. It does not discriminate. And here is what most men never understand. The soil has been receiving seeds since before you could walk. Before the age of 7, the human mind operates predominantly in a theta brain state. Theta is the same state you enter in deep meditation, in hypnosis, in the moments just before sleep. It is a state of total receptivity, no critical filter, no resistance. Every experience in those early years went directly into the subconscious without inspection. Every repeated message, every emotional wound, everything you were told repeatedly about who you are, that is your operating system. Not the goals you set, not the affirmations you recite, not the motivation you feel on a Monday morning. The deep subconscious answer to the question, who am I? And until that answer is updated, everything else is just surface noise. As you begin to understand this, you start to see your own patterns differently. Murphy did not discover something new. He named what the greatest men in history had already practiced. Before Alexander conquered the known world, his father, Philip of Macedon, made one decision that determined everything. He hired Aristotle, not as a teacher of facts, as an architect of identity. From the age of 13, Alexander spent 3 years under Aristotle's direct instruction, not learning battle tactics, learning how to think, learning what kind of man he was, learning the stories of Achilles, his hero, until the identity of the fearless, destined conqueror was not an aspiration. It was a fact he carried in his subconscious. By the time Alexander led his first campaign, the programming was complete. He did not ride into battle hoping he was the kind of man who could win. He rode in, already knowing. Philip understood what most fathers never consider. The subconscious of a child is an open field. Plant the right seeds early enough, and the harvest is inevitable. Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire at its height. He commanded armies. He held the most powerful position in the ancient world. And every morning, before the world demanded anything from him, he wrote. The Meditations were not a journal. They were a reprogramming tool. He wrote the same principles to himself repeatedly, not because he had forgotten them, Because he understood that the subconscious requires repetition to encode a belief permanently. He was a gardener who showed up every single day to tend the soil, entry after entry. What a man is, how a man responds, what a man values, not as motivation, as installation. He was not reminding himself of who he wanted to be. He was reinforcing who he had already decided he was. Two men, separated by centuries. One practiced it deliberately from childhood. One practiced it every morning until he died. Both understood the same truth Murphy would later put into words. So here is what Murphy told us directly, and it is the most important thing in this video. The subconscious cannot tell the difference between a real experience and one that is vividly imagined with genuine emotion. Read that again. It does not distinguish. It records both as real. It builds beliefs from both equally. This means the programming can be rewritten, not through willpower, not through forcing new behavior, through the same mechanism that wrote the original code, repetition and emotion. Murphy was specific about when this is most effective. The threshold moments, just before sleep, just after waking, are when the conscious filter is lowest. The mind is closest to that theta state. The door to the subconscious is open. What you feed it in those moments carries more weight than hours of ordinary thinking. This is not mysticism. This is mechanics. The subconscious never sleeps. Murphy wrote this explicitly. While you rest, it continues executing the dominant programming you fed it before you closed your eyes. Most men feed it anxiety, distraction, and unresolved loops, and wake up wondering why they feel the same. The man who understands this feeds it identity statements, deliberately, consistently, with emotion. Imagine 90 days from now, you wake up and the internal narrative is different, not louder, not more motivational, quieter, certain. The voice in your head is no longer someone else's words. It is yours, because you wrote it. The programming you are running right now was not your fault. You did not choose the soil. You did not choose the seeds. You did not choose the gardeners, but you are the gardener now. What goes into the soil from this point forward is your decision. Repetition is your tool. Emotion is your accelerant. The threshold moments, morning and night, are your window. You are not trying to motivate yourself into a new identity. You are installing one, the same way it was done to you, deliberately this time. You were not born into your identity. You were programmed into it, and you can program your way out.